Good morning, Unity Church of Downriver. Welcome in. Good to be with you again. I'm Reverend Dr. Stephen J. Kuzmina, your minister of record, and I want to dive right in today. I want to cover the power that we talk about in November. The title of my message today is The Sacred Art of Letting Go, the Spiritual Power of Renunciation. And it's so good to be together today and to center our hearts, our minds, our spirits in that living presence we call God, the source of all life and love. Each month in Unity, we do focus on one of the 12 powers of man, a spiritual faculty through which the Christ presence expresses more fully in and through us. And in November, our focus turns to the power of renunciation, sometimes called elimination, that divine ability to release, to let go, to cleanse, and to make room for more of God's life, love, and wisdom to move through us. Again, our title this morning is The Sacred Art of Letting Go, the Spiritual Power of Renunciation. And I'm sure you've visited this topic in the past. It's a popular topic. You always find letting go, letting God, I release and I let go. We sing about it. You find it in daily word. And I'm going to come at it a little bit different today and really talk about making this part of your sacred practice. Because this power is more than just getting rid of things. It's the conscious spiritual practice of release, letting go of all that no longer serves the unfolding of your divine nature. It is indeed a holy act, a movement of grace, a surrender to something greater that is trying to emerge through each and every one of us. And there's a spiritual law within this, the spiritual law of release. Charles Fillmore, Unity co founder, taught that a healthy state of mind is attained when the thinker willingly lets go of the old thoughts and takes on the new. He compared it to a pool of water. If the inlet in that pool of water is blocked, the pool dries up. If the outlook is blocked, it stagnates. Life needs flow. Mind needs movement. Spirit needs circulation. Renunciation is that outlet. It's how we keep the flow of spirit fresh in our consciousness. When we release what is old, rigid, or limiting, we create room for new life, new ideas, and new good to express. We're going to dive right into this as something that we can apply and take action on in our lives right here and right now. So let's affirm together. We're going to start with a denial. Remember, denial is the brushing away, denial is the releasing, denial is the letting go. Denial is refusing to give power to that which does not serve us. So here's a denial for us. I now release and let go of all limiting thoughts, fears, and attachments. They no longer have power over me. We'll do it again. I now release and let go of all limiting beliefs, fears, and attachments. They no longer have power over me. And then to back that up, to strengthen that, we affirm I am open, receptive, and willing for God's good to flow freely through me. Let's do that again. I am open, receptive, and willing for God's good to flow freely through me. And just take a breath and feel that. Just feel that. Feeling is so important. Renunciation is not rejection. It's not punishment. It's not denial of life. It is denial of limitation. When we say, I release, we are saying yes to the higher order of spirit. We are saying yes to expansion, to renewal, to transformation. We're really making room for the new in all of this. Charles Fillmore wrote that we must first let go of the old thoughts before the new can find place in consciousness. And he was right. It's a psychological and spiritual law. If you want a new experience of life, you can't fill the new cup while clinging to the old one. I often say it's like you want to go through that door, you want to step into your next chapter, you want to go through that door, but you can't go through it when you're hanging on to the doorknob of the door that's trying to shut behind you. We also see this reflected in scripture. If we would look to Matthew chapter 7, verse 9, or chapter 9, I should say, verse 17, it says, you cannot put new wine into old wineskins. The old container, right? The old container, the old way of thinking, of being, of reacting, and hold the vitality of spirit that is trying to pour through you now. To let go is to trust God. To let go is to trust God. It is to say, I no longer need to control this. I no longer need to cling to what was. I am safe in God's unfolding order. This is the sacred art of letting go. And it takes faith. So, what we're really doing, let's talk a little bit about clearing that clutter in consciousness. As we move through this month of renunciation, many of us might begin by clearing clutter from our physical space, maybe our homes or in our offices, those drawers that haven't been opened in years, or just everything goes in there, right? You got this little plastic piece you found on the floor, but it's gonna go to something, right? Into the drawer it goes, right? We all do that. We all have a drawer like that, I think. The closet is full of, well, just in case, I may need that. And as we do, as we go through this and pay attention and are made aware of the clutter, we often realize that our outer clutter mirrors our inner clutter. It's not just the stuff in our closets, though. It's the stuff we've stored away in that mental filing cabinet. The grievances we've held on to. The fears we keep replaying over and over and over again, the self-judgments, the self-criticism that weighs us down, that guilt we harbor, that shame even maybe we harbor. My friends, God cannot fill a clenched fist, all right? We have to open the hand. We have to open the hand and open the heart to receive. So perhaps today is an invitation, because I always feel we're in the right place at the right time and we have ears to hear when we need to hear this, right? So perhaps this is an invitation to look at what you've been holding on to. Maybe old stories about who you think you are. All of us can really benefit from taking a look at this. What are these old stories about who we think we are? What about limiting beliefs? Limiting beliefs about what we think is possible, even though we know at some level of being that our potential is infinite. What are those limiting beliefs that need to go? What about resentments that quietly just drain our joy? Or even the subtle attachments to struggle, that old identity that says, well, I've always had to fight for it. This time's no different. Or some of the things that are are really limitations, but we wear like a badge of honor. We can now lovingly say, no more, no more. That's not what I am anymore. I am not willing to claim that anymore. That is not who I am. That is not what I am. I am a child of God. I am ready to let go. So that's why it's important that we look to denials and affirmations. In my second Bible, in Emily Cady's Lessons in Truth, she reminded us that both denials and affirmations are essential to spiritual growth. A denial is not a rejection of reality. It's a conscious choice to withdraw our energy from appearances that do not reflect the divine within, the divine truth, who and what we are. A denial clears away the mental debris, so to speak. An affirmation plants new seeds of truth. So today, that's why I wanted to start with practicing both together. Remember, denial just brushes away, clears away the mental debris, and an affirmation plants new seeds of truth. So let's do a couple more together. Here's a denial. There is no power in fear, resentment, or limitation. They have no hold on me. There is no power in fear, resentment, or limitation. They have no hold on me. Here's an affirmation to back that up, to solidify the truth. God's life and love are now renewing me in mind, body, and spirit. God's life and love are now renewing me in mind, body, and spirit. Here's another denial. I release all attachments to struggle and pain. I release all attachments to struggle and pain. And we affirm, I live in ease, grace, and divine order. I live in ease, grace, and divine order. How about one more? I let go. Here's the denial. I let go of all that no longer serves my highest good. I let go of all that no longer serves my highest good. And I affirm, I make room for new blessings, new beginnings, and new light. I make room for new beginnings, new blessings, and new light, whatever order you want to do that in. These are not empty words. Bold them, underline them with feeling and emotion. The denials we look at like brushing away a cobweb. We don't give much energy to those. But the affirmations, move into it with feeling, with boldness, with audacity, claim it. They're not, again, I repeat, they are not empty words. They are vibrational declarations that reprogram consciousness itself. So often we walk into a place like this beautiful sanctuary we have here, and we do affirmations by rote, or we do the daily word, and then we can go into with no feeling. I make room for new blessings, new beginnings, and new life. We have to emotionalize our affirmations. We have to move into the feeling tone of it to make that lasting impression that will produce transformation in our own lives. When we speak truth and do it with feeling and emotion, our cells respond, our energy shifts, our path opens. And there's a gift hidden in this letting go. Renunciation can sound like loss, but it's really liberation. When we willingly release what is heavy, God fills the space with what is holy. Let me say that again. When we willingly release what is heavy, God fills the space with what is holy. Sometimes Spirit invites us to release something we still love. Not because it's wrong, but because it's complete. It's complete. You may have heard it said when God closes one door, another opens. But sometimes, again, we spend too long staring at the closed door, even holding on to the doorknob, as I alluded to earlier. Letting go does not mean forgetting or erasing. It means blessing and releasing. It means trusting that the same power that brought you this far will guide you the rest of the way. In Philippians chapter 3, verse 13 to 14, we hear, forgetting the things that are behind and reach forward to the things that are before. Renunciation is not passive. It's a conscious partnership with spirit that says, I choose to align with divine life. I choose to make room for greater good. You know, Charles Fillmore also linked this power of elimination to the body, to the physical act of release. He located the center of elimination in the lower abdomen, symbolizing the cleansing away of waste and error thought. When the mind is holding on too tightly, when we're anxious, when we're resistant or rigid, the body often mirrors it with tension, constriction, or imbalance. Now, just as our digestive system needs movement through elimination to stay healthy, so does our consciousness. Yes, we can have a constipated consciousness, one that refuses to release old ideas, and it blocks the flow of divine life. This is the thing. Take a look at this. Spend some time in contemplation. Where am I constipated in consciousness? So as we practice letting go in mind, we also heal the body. We restore balance to every system. In this way, renunciation is not abstract. It's holistic healing. And what we want to pay attention to too is we really need to let go of willfulness. You know, that stubborn part of us. Fillmore warned of this. He warned of the tense will, the will that insists, demands, and clings to outcomes. It's got to be this way. He wrote that relaxation of the abdomen depends on relaxation of the will. Sometimes the hardest thing to release is not a thing, but the need to control. We may think, oh, if I let go, what if I lose it all? But the truth is, when you let go, you don't lose, you align. Jesus said, our master teacher and way shower said, not my will, but thine be done. That's in Luke chapter 22, verse 42. In that surrender, he demonstrated perfect renunciation, the highest trust in divine order, the highest trust in the goodness of God, the highest form of surrender to the goodness of God. And so we affirm, I let go of personal will and allow divine will to guide me in perfect peace. Let me say that again. I let go of personal will and allow divine will to guide me in perfect peace. And this is really the path to peace. Renunciation is the doorway to peace because it clears the path for God's order to be established in us. Every moment you release, even one small resentment, one false belief, one fear, you make space for heaven to manifest within. Renunciation doesn't require struggle. It requires willingness. You don't have to force yourself to release. You simply allow the light of truth to reveal what's ready to go. And you will know this truth and it will set you free. That's what that's all about. You don't have to force it. Just allow the light of truth to shine within and reveal it. Sometimes just awareness begins the healing. The rest unfolds naturally as spirit does the work. That's what's beautiful about the indwelling Christ. So today, as we move deeper into prayer and meditation, let us gently open our hearts and say together, I let go, I let God. I let go, I let God. I am cleansed, I am renewed, and I am made whole in divine life. And so it is. Now, if you haven't done the meditation, I'll give you an opportunity to stop the video now if you've already done the meditation, or if you'd like to move further, I have a meditation prepared that I would love to share with you. If we could have some background music, that would be great. Some gentle background music underneath my voice. And this is just a guided meditation I put together to support this message today called the cleansing stream of spirit. So let's all take a deep breath in, breathing in and slowly exhale, allowing your body to relax. Again, just breathing in lightly and breathing out, release. Just notice the circulation, right? We breathe in and we let go of the air to breathe in fresh air, right? Not controlling, just aware of the process of circulation. Breathing in, breathing out. Now imagine yourself as you relax right where you are. Imagine yourself standing beside a peaceful stream. The air is clean. The water sparkles in the sunlight. And you hear the gentle sound of flow. Constant, effortless, eternal flow. This stream represents the life of God moving through you, the cleansing flow of spirit that carries away all that is no longer needed. With every breath, let go a little more. Feel your shoulders soften, your jaw release, your abdomen relaxing. Now imagine you hold in your hand a small stone, a symbol of something you've been carrying. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's worry, an old habit, or a belief that no longer serves your growth. You look at the stone and recognize it once had purpose, but now it's time to let it go. You whisper, thank you for the lesson. I release you to the flow of divine life. And you place the stone gently into the stream. And watch as the current washes over it, perhaps carries it away effortlessly, joyfully. Now feel into that lightness that follows in that release. Feel the freedom in your heart as you open to receive something new. New ideas, new peace, new joy. Living water of spirit flows through you now, washing away every remnant of heaviness, fear, or limitation. It clears the pathways of your mind and energizes every cell with radiant divine life, love, and divine wisdom. You are free. You are renewed. You are whole. Now let this affirmation anchor within you. I release what no longer serves me, and open fully to God's renewing life within. Let's do that again. I release what no longer serves me and open fully to God's renewing life within. Breathe it in. Let the silence seal it. When you're ready, take one more deep, conscious breath. Begin to move and wiggle your fingers and toes. Gently bring your attention back to this place. And when you open your eyes, know that you have been made new, cleansed, restored, and empowered to live as the radiant light of God that you are, the Christ of God that you are. So it is. Amen. Let's just close this out today. I just love this talk on renunciation and releasing and letting go. Something that's timely to come back to throughout the year. So let us close with this shared declaration of truth. I willingly let go of the old. I am free, open, and receptive to God's new good. I am renewed in mind, body, and spirit. I let go and let God, and all is well. Amen. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me in today. So good to be with all of you. I am here and available for each and every one of you. God bless you.